Chapter 1. Painful Loss. You are listening at FameTV.info. Chapter 1. Painful Loss. Translator. Henyi Translations Editor. Henyi Translations. The woman in the picture had rather exquisite facial features. Her fair and smooth skin was delicate like porcelain, especially against the pure white work uniform that I in the picture. She was kneeling on the ground with a rag in her hands, doing her job as a hotel cleaner, carefully and meticulously. Though her job was the dirtiest and hardest kind in every city, she still displayed a calm and steady temperament, like wild grass growing on a cliff. If anyone had known what this woman in the picture had gone through, they would be spontaneously admiring her outstanding wisdom and unyielding tenacity. But for the rich lady holding the picture, she hated her the most. Ye Jian, you want to stay alive and have a good life. Oh, but that is up to me. Dressed elegantly, the young and rich lady tightly pursed her tender lips that were coated with bright red lipstick. As she stared at the picture, rays shot out from her eyes like a beam of cold light on snake fangs, chilly and vicious. Yi Jian, you don't deserve to live, said the rich lady grumpily, her tone laced with intense murderousness. She would not spare anyone, not even her cousin, who had known all her secrets. The lives of the poor are worthless. Those who don't deserve to live should vanish obediently. Through usurping everything that belonged to Yi Jian, she had married into the rich and risen to the upper class. Naturally, she could toy with Yi Jian, her cousin who had been aware of her secrets, but she couldn't get rid of Yi Jian at once, for it would be hard to explain to her husband's family, who knew that she had an indecent cousin. You failed in the probation period, and the hotel has decided not to hire you. Pack your things in 3 days and get out. The 28-year-old Yi Jian was fired again, 2 months after working here. Just like in the picture, she had a peaceful and tenacious temperament. Standing upright in front of the lobby manager, she didn't bow after hearing these words, neither did she panic from losing her job. Having gotten used to holding a job for 2 months at most, she had become unemotional and much tougher. As her obsidian dark eyes looked peacefully at the lobby manager, Yi Jian spoke plainly, when will I get my salary? We are a listed company. You will surely get your 2,000 yuan salary. Looking at this pretty face that would get men's pulses racing, Manager Lu was tickled by his desire. 10 minutes ago, he was lambasted by the HR manager, for it was he who had hired this woman who had displeased a big name. Eyes staring at Yi Jian, he pulled open the drawer to his desk, from which he took out an envelope and threw it down. The envelope that contained Yi Jian's salary was discarded on the ground. She couldn't help but clench her hands while slightly frowning. Just then, the cell phone on the desk rang. Manager Lu, who was in a bad mood, answered the call. Damn it, he must turn off his cell phone later. Manager Lu, I know you are a man who has tender affection for beautiful women. So, you should know what to do with Yi Jian, who seduced her teacher at 14 years old. Rest assured, you won't get caught, just don't get her killed. A gentle voice came from the cell phone. From hearing this voice, Manager Lu could tell that it was from a beauty. Tame her well. If I am pleased, I can give an order to make you the deputy general manager of the hotel. Fu King bitch. Having hooked up with men in her teens, she was still pretending to be an innocent lady in front of him. After hanging up the phone, Manager Lu became hornier and more brazen. How Fu King lucky for him to receive this phone call. He was planning to rape her anyway, for he had instructed someone to drug Yi Jian. If he did well, he would be backed by the wife of that high-ranking official. Yi Jian was bending over to pick up the envelope that contained her salary. Before her fingers could touch the envelope, she raised her head abruptly, as if she sensing something. Danger. She's in danger. She needed to leave immediately. It was because of her instinct to react quickly to imminent dangers and steer away from them that she could live safely until now. Perhaps this was the only grace bestowed to her from the sufferings in her life. At this moment, without warning, her body wobbled. Before the alarmed Yi Jian could stand up, a stream of unexplainable torrents ran violently through her limbs. As her stomach burned like there was a ball of fire in it, she collapsed by the desk. Fu K. You are a whore who hooked up with your teacher at the age of 14, so stop pretending to be innocent. Someone has instructed me to take care of you. You have nowhere to run this time. The drugged Yi Jian was pressed onto the desk. Without struggling fiercely, she clenched her collar tightly with one hand while fumbling on the desk with the other. She had seen clearly what was on the desk after entering the office. With only one glance, she could remember how the items were displayed and which of those could be used as her defense weapons. For example, in the black leather pen holder, there were 2 pencils and 3 fountain pens, one of which was not hatted with a cap. 2 ballpoint pens. Oh, and a pair of scissors for office use. 2 buttons on her shirt were ripped off, while those filthy hands were grabbing her collar. Her pearl-white teeth were biting her lower lip tightly. Even when she was bleeding, she did not loosen her bite, for the pain could make her sober up without surrendering to the effects of the drug. Yi Jian was a woman who could be resolutely merciless when it comes to defying death. At the age of 14, she was framed, under the allegation that she had seduced her math teacher. After all these years, no matter how her cousin, who had married into the rich and powerful, tried to bring her down, she had survived. But today, she must fight for her life. Yi Jian did not waste her strength in struggling. As her hand touched the hatless fountain pen, she exerted her strength and stabbed it hard into the man's arm. As the sharp pen tip stabbed into his arm, the horny manager Lu was caught off guard. Screaming, he loosened his grip. Without any emotions in her eyes or looking at the monster whose arm was bleeding, the disheveled Yi Jian picked up her salary-contained envelope and was about to leave with her limping and feeble legs. Within 2 steps, her hair was grabbed fiercely. Damn it. How dare you hurt me? As a man, even injured, manager Lu still got the upper hand against a drugged woman. Bang. Yi Jian's head was bumped against the desk, and warm fluids flew out right away. Mercilessly, manager Lu struck Yi Jian's head against the desk over and over again, and yelled violently, "You shameless whore! You are dead today!" Yi Jian was aware that she was bleeding a lot, as if her skull was about to break. Her hands were clambering over the desk. She needed to get the scissors in the pen holder. The landline phone was swept onto the ground. As she reached forward a bit more, she knocked down the pen holder. Holding the scissors, Yi Jian exerted her last bit of strength and, fiercely and precisely, she stabbed it into manager Lu's chest. The sharp scissors were pierced exactly into his heart. Yi Jian was a woman who had cleaned the anatomy rooms of medical schools and had more solid medical knowledge than the medical students. She knew perfectly about the structures of the human body. It was not deadly enough to stab a pair of scissors into a heart. They needed to be pulled out. Only after the scissors were pulled out could the blood in the heart atrium gush from the wounds like water from water cannons. No way could he be rescued. Not in this life. Blood sprayed on her face, and her hair dampened with blood. Yi Jian leaned against the desk as if she had survived hell. Eyes closed, she fumbled for the landline phone and dialed a string of numbers with her blood-covered fingers. As the call connected, Yi Jian heard the gentle voice from the other side. Before she died, Yi Jian's chest undulated lightly and she said softly, "Just you wait, Yi Ying." Listen to the full novel at FameTV.info, direct link in the description.